everything has been exposed. Right now, the judiciary is being exposed. Another revert position when you say he's a lawyer, he's a judge. We all feel happy. This one is a judge, a justice. He's a good person. God is everything is being exposed by this in this season,
especially PhD holders too.
bro. Hey, bro, don't go. And you know, saying everything will run, but right now, no, there's all run and finish. We just hide down. I'm not gonna people and come and say, because.
I'm gonna get PhD. I don't go announce now. We just keep because they don't see it take years to recover image of PhD holders in Nigeria.
Bro, APC have bastardized everything. APC have bastardized everything. Tinubu have bastardized everything. Quest for power. God. When will Nigeria please come back here, beg? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let me just and please, guys, those of you on YouTube, I know we know Twitter is back. Please, some people have been saying that. Somebody said it's like YouTube is making more sense, and it's true. If you listen,
Yes,
on
it's
YouTube,
making
And
more
it makes more sense.
what shall it profit you, YouTubers, if you leave YouTube and come to Twitter and it crashes again? Please comment there and share us with some supercharger. Thank you.
Please, okay, thanks to Yemi Ashaolu for your super charge. Thanks to Collins Ike for your super charge. And like Saddam was saying earlier, I need people to know this that the parallel fact.
Jimmy don't come back.
Jimmy don't come back, I need people to know that the parallel fact needs all this. In fact, I was just thinking maybe this is the best way to support parallel fact because whatever is being sent here is actually is for parallel fact, and this is the best way. It's probably one of the best ways you can support parallel fact. There are a lot of writers that we need to at least motivate. A lot of people are working at
data.
Yes,
like if plenty dies.
Yes.
Me, when we see give me my own personal experience. You see a lot of Otuba. Yeah, if you know how much in between times. Saddam, like this is no easy, man. So please support us.
Yes, so I know.
One of my madams in the industry, the media industry, she said, now you understand why we have brown envelope journalists and journalism in the country. It says now you understand why. I say, oh, I now understand though why these people, hey, God, to give news for Nigeria. Ha! God have mercy upon us. And you drop it finish, many people don't still read it. After the whole hard work, after the whole stress, you go down and look yourself. So please, it's not easy, my people. It's not easy.
But if I say the Liberty don't buy, Liberty champion, I don't know what she buy. So I comment the day special. So I don't know what kind of super charge she charge. But she say I know the commode. Even Nello day YouTube. Nello.
Hey. I hear you people.
Nello, remain there, please. Remain there.
All right, thanks to everybody that sent super chat. Thanks to all those that will send. It's you supporting parallel fact literally, and that's very, very much helpful. All right, let's go back to our speakers. I think we have a couple of speaker requests now.
Well, now they hear me now. I don't use Babalawo jazz for them. I don't appear. Multi-day, I don't shoot.
Jimmy, how do you feel being in jail? Let's talk up. Hey, I see my body now. How's that joke? Hey.
It's just like they release everybody, but
I swear.
Oh yeah, updates.
That's no rapture go happen, though. Please,
bro.
Repent,
you see the photo where I send you. As I wait, say they don't log me, and that's why I see one breaking news say Elon Musk and Zuckerberg they won't fight boxing. Say they don't arrange that. Hey, as I see that one, what's it going concern we know they fight now? Now 12 now won't fight. But now go fight for ring. Oh my goodness! But I was listening to everybody's submission on YouTube. It was crisp, man. It was lovely. I could hear everybody clearly.
With a pot go YouTube. With a pot go YouTube.
Bro, now so I did. Hey,
we have made more money in YouTube. We have made more money in YouTube in one night. Now I've made
now so I did see Liberty champion. Liberty champion just It's just a book card for now. All the book card for everybody. Say,
Jimmy,
pounds
we have
and
made
euro.
more money on YouTube tonight than we have made on Vawulence Space
Honestly, I didn't see him.
for 12 months.
I didn't see him.
Why would
I
we
didn't see
port to
him.
deliver? We are going. YouTube is China. We are going to China SeaPort. We are going there.
That was too bad laugh. Get capital later.
All right, I did just drop five.
Pun intended.
I did just drop a super chat. They say Jimmy's energy. I buckle up. I don't buckle up.
Guys, sorry, we couldn't do the whole roll call today. I mean,
Jimmy, the only roll call is people on YouTube. The only roll call is people on YouTube.
people, Abby, sure you understand. People we don't drop money, we don't book cards. Now, waiting we go do be that. But on the Jumbotron, I put up a tweet I made a couple of minutes ago. It shows you like a chart of how China is going through the African continent to just acquire their natural resources. So what they do is they loan them money as much as they need. They loan them the money, and on the chart, the thicker the red, the more indebted the country is. So that's how they've done it. A moment I go see Nigeria red. Nigeria red, it be like the red come the red oh nikun hey red keep that red hey when they say blood is thicker than water, now wetin dey happen with Nigeria red? The redness is over red. Maybe not check them out to have an idea of the kind of shit hole problem we are in that country. These guys are taking over. I listened to someone's submission about bringing in asking who spoke about bringing in prisoners. I did, and it's all over social media. You can check it on Google as well. Just search for it. China importing prisoners to Nigeria to work, and that's exactly what is going on. And that's the reason why
Jimmy,
you see.
people don't know China's population. Do you
Of
know how
course,
many billions there with them be? You
bro,
just say
they are
them.
over a billion. They are like
Yeah,
1.3 right
they will
now.
import people to your country to come and work.
Sure, you understand? And
1.3
these guys
billion.
are
1.3
criminals,
billion.
rapists. Yeah,
If
these
you're a
guys.
prisoner in China, they send you to other countries to go and work, and they pay you.
Of
All these people
course,
that come to Nigeria to work in Africa, they're prisoners that are being watched and being paid hard labor.
and they pay them as expertise. They pay them as expertise. That's how disgusting. And these are when we say criminals, these are not normal criminals. These are rapists. These are killers. These are people that they've been incarcerated for life, and they bring them down here. That's how you see Chinese people just kicking Nigerians at the site, stabbing anybody anyhow. This is what they did in their country. They are outlaws. Yeah, that's the right word. They are outlaws in their country. The country don't determine, say, these guys are useless. They cannot bring any positivity to this country. But they ship them out to make money, and those prisoners will be placed on top Nigerians like expertise in that country. That is what we're going through in that country. It is now or never. My fellow obedience, now or never. No 2027, no going back. It is now or never. And congratulations. They say on interim president, if you appear for wetin dem go do for France. We don't dey talk am before, be like say we just dey do gbasgbos. But I mean, come on, what are we expecting? Why are they expecting him to turn up? They don't need him there. He's not an Olympic. They only need his brain. Now only him brain they need for that meeting when they go. They need his brain. They don't need him to walk. They don't need him to stand. They need his brain. Because when we keep talking, you guys will just put your bigotry, stupid minded, shallow attitude. Could they talk? We need his brain. We're now running Olympics. We're not running. And you have someone. When Peter Obi came the last time, I told him, make him no fast, make him no worry. People are fasting on his behalf. We need a fit president. When I said it, he laughed, he giggled. I heard when he giggled. He understand why we said those things. Now you have a teamship. Oh, I love the guy because he's doing exactly everything he promised you guys. Teamship. Now don't forget teamship. That is teamship going on right now. The president of the giant of Africa don't go France, go fall on a hand. They talk say one person go represent. It's teamship. What are you guys talking about? And you have gazettes and Sahara Reporter announcing the news as if it's a breaking news. It is not breaking news. He has told us this is what he's going to do, and he has done it. So why are you guys surprised? Why are they now posting about it? Obedient. We are getting our country back. Let us be focused. Did you hear what happened in Enugu? See, when we say these things, people think we are mad. People think we are delusional. People think we are just promoting false hope. We won this election, and we will reclaim our mandate on every level. See what GRV they do that Lagos man. GRV, see what GRV they do that. That man actually spent time with Peter Obi. That time when they in the airport, be like saying waiting the two of them talk with that. The way their picture they circulate, see they sleep for airports. Because he went after the deputy governor. Where that one go, they talk rubbish. That one, he refused. He chose one country out of the two, Nigeria or America. If now you, what you go do? These people don't have the kind of love they should have for that country. And Peter Obi came out to say it loud and clear. He doesn't have dual citizenship. That's why I keep telling you guys, it's not about him being an Igbo man or not. It's about the man's spirit and his will to rule that country. He doesn't have a dual citizenship. He is committed. Make them call him and come swear, say he go serve Nigeria once and for all, and no more, no less. He's ready to do that. He is ready. But these guys, they're selfish. He has placed America on top of his own selfishness, more than the people he's actually meant to serve. And we are seeing it now. Made them they play. You guys just keep watching. This is how it's going to happen. I said something earlier on in my first submission. I said, Nelson Mandela said it in 2001. Then it go they happen like it. They go say play until it happens. It is impossible until it happens. When it happens, it go suck them. It go suck them in Yoruba language. Oma suck you, guys. Hello for Kombale. We've got this, and we will reclaim our mandate. On God, we will reclaim our mandate. Thank you. I yield for now.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. Let me just.
Sorry. Like say,
Okay.
PhD holders, I get beef. Get two people. See, anything called professor, PhD holder, are you Nigerian? I have beef with you. The bastardization has happened from APC over the last couple of. See, nobody gaslit us. Me personally, the most angry I've ever been on the Twitter space was from a PhD holder, Dasuki. Nobody gaslights us pass for this election. Pass people with professorship and PhD holders. Then you guys gaslighted the shit out of us because we expect. So I mean, obviously, I'm generalizing, but you that have real PhDs, you understand. But this where Nigeria is right now, academia threw us into this mess. Mahmoud Yakub is a professor. I'm saying it. A lot of the recs were professors. All the nonsense were professors. So, and you have to get your PhD before becoming the professors. So, sorry, my beef is real. Back to you, well meaning.
All right, let me just give a shout out to somebody that dropped supercharge again on the YouTube. BBMJ, thank you very much. Dropped it to the message of may all those that oppose a better Nigeria reap all that they sow. Amen. Thank you, Vawulence Space. Thank you, 1 million Mama. Could you mention name of everybody in the Vawulence Space? 1 million Mama.
Mr. Ken, sorry. Is it that Mr. Ken? Is it that you don't understand sarcasm? Mr. Ken is really fighting on this PhD issue. Do I have to explain sarcasm to a PhD holder, Mr. Ken?
No, maybe you didn't.
You know what I mean? So you can't read a sarcastic tweet or sarcastic comment. Mr. Ken really think I have beef with PhD holders. So.
Otuba, you know how long when person doesn't study PhD, then you can't tell her for one space a PhD. You get problem with her. All right, Mr. Ken, I think you understand though, but it's all these people that swear this PhD. So please, if you see any of them, hold them by their neck. Then they sweat that neck.
What will happen is this now? What will happen is original PhD, we have to put one more D to be PhDD. Because this boy is not spoiling our work. People have
PhD. I have friends that are PhD holder. Sorry, all of you they collect, all of you that same bucket.
Oh God!
Okay. I think NCs. I don't know if
NCs how far now.
Oh, the way everybody take away, they be like they release from one place. S is okay. Maybe S is currently caught up. I'm sure when he's ready, he'll just call me. All right, I was going to use Maxwell, but UC Maxwell is not here. But let's take a lady. I think I don't hear male voice since
There's one
maybe
lady on the platform that you have to take. Oh, yeah, take her.
yeah. So let's just go to Barrister Juliet. Barrister Juliet, don't you? Barrister Juliet, are you here? Maybe he's trying to open a phone. I know that feeling. All right, maybe.
Or wait, sorry, please. If you guys just joined, can you see if your microphone works? Because sometimes Twitter acts like maybe all the
Abi, oh.
recent, yeah, just all unmute your mic and speak. Anyone, I want to see if people's mics are working.
Mine is
Yeah,
working.
man,
This is TK.
it's working now.
Okay, so this is okay, awesome. Okay, I think by suggest
Okay,
might just
maybe we'll just go. Let's go with some other speaker. Yeah, I think Barrister Juliet is not. Yeah, use the Maxwell. I can't see your request, so maybe you can leave and come back to the space. All right, but let me just take Cindy Gold. Cindy Gold, please go ahead. If you want to speak, please put up your hand so we don't keep asking you. Please go ahead, Cindy Gold. I be 100 users, not the years. What did happen?
blessing 100 users today. I don't think I missed them, Mike.
They,
Very good.
they release
All right, let's
Android
go with
user.
people that the answer up then.
They release them from jail. Call lock their mouth.
And they tell you. And they tell you. With those that are answer up, let's go with
Let's take TK now. She's
yeah.
a lady.
All right, actually, TK, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Once again, so pleased and happy to be here. My own is I don't even understand what this so-called judiciary, what they are doing with all this waiting for. I can't just understand with everything that they are seeing with their own judgment. My dear, may they just pack Kolu and each and every one of them go there, including their family. May I just put them for that place live. Oh, we go pardon them, no kill them, but I go dey there for life. Nobody go visit them. They may just dey there. They eat their own agbado. They fit put transformer there for call loose, make they use roast that agbado for all in entourage. Make they just sit down there, begin the roast the agbado. I told one of the Agbado people in my family, he actually accepted that we won this election. And I told him, either you like it or not, we're getting this mandate back. He said, we should just manage it now. After all, Tinubu is working. I said, what? Which work? Which work? We are talking about something that he stole that we need to get back. So I'm just like, which the day that they will just swear in my own president. I have a lot of people that I want to prepare my family. I'm going to even do a live video on that day to prepare them all. Dance very well. Put it on YouTube. I let it go viral because I'll be calling their names and their title one after the other. I'll be telling them and all the contracts. Just call them out. I'm so waiting. I'm chilling. I yield my mic. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, TK. Thank you very much for that. All right. At least if let's say the abado way you get for your family, that one go school because for that to agree say they win, we take Peter be win, he know, himself no. All right, thank you very much. Guys, just give preference to people that go to court. So let's just quickly take you some. Oh, okay, Barrister Juliet is ready now. Let's take you some Maxwell, then we'll come to Barrister Juliet, then Real Jack, and we'll take it from there. Mr. Maxwell.
Yeah, please confirm if you can hear me.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Now, Android they use.
Leave by Android for me. Saddam, I was shocked though. I don't look for this space tire. I had to go into your profile to see if I would see that normal blue stuff around profile pictures. I didn't see. I just keep my phone. I say make I rest more, sleep carry me small. As I wake up again, now I see for one group where the person send the space link. That was how I joined. If not, I was even thinking that you guys didn't host the space today, but it's obvious that there have been serious Twitter glitches. When I was reporting from the court, after I finished typing, if I want to add page, that plus button that allows you add an extra page was no longer coming up on my Twitter. So I was literally stressed, sending every message I type, opening a new page and everything. But then I'm here. It's a pleasure to be here. Otumba, good evening. Well meaning Saddam N6 Jimmy. Everybody, I greet each and every one of you. It was a beautiful session today, from the court with the kind of witness that we had. The witness started yesterday. He gave evidence in chief yesterday. Then he came today and gave they conducted the cross examination. We also have had Yunusa Tanko, the spokesperson of the presidential campaign, team, who did wonderfully well in tendering a lot of documents. So what we saw today was that we had our witnesses who had begun to speak to some of these documents. Now, the witness from yesterday, what we saw from him is that INEC did not only fail to comply with the Electoral Act, the guidelines, regulations, and guidelines for conduct and their manuals, they also failed to comply with the provisions of the law regarding, data collection and data upload as it relates to NITDA. So that was the need for us to also bring a witness from NITDA. Maybe not a witness, he was subpoenaed to tender documents. If you recall before, a lady came from INEC, one Mrs. Fumilayo, who told the court that three certain documents which was required of her, that it was not in existence in their office. So there was a need to now subpoena NIDA, because those documents that they were asking from INEC were supposed to be issued by NIDA upon INEC's compliance with the provision of the law. So when we subpoenaed NIDA now, NIDA didn't have them. What it simply meant was that INEC did not make the right applications as they relate to, data usage and all of that. So it just shows you how inept these guys were. I don't know what ran into their heads. They just decided to violate everything called the provisions of the law or the provisions of regulations and guidelines that led to this entire election. And that witness was so sound that he was giving us the actual figures of the numbers of polling units that we have in Nigeria. We saw what has been happening also with the Lagos State Tribunal. Also the things coming out from the PDP tribunal, where it was revealed that that they wiped off data concerning FCT. But I'm not surprised. You remember that the court gave them order for them to reconfigure BVAS. So whether FCT was a state to them or it was, moreover, they are trying to argue that FCT suddenly is a state. So what would you expect? So we had very nice outings. They tendered document, they tendered reports, which showed datas, metadata from Rivers State, from Anambra State, and one other state I can't remember right now. Also, the the witness I was cross-examined today also showed attachments, one exhibit A of polling units from Benue State, which he investigated to show that INEC had a foul play towards the uploads of their documents. So it was a very good outing today. My only worry are the issues of time. You would agree with me that tomorrow is the day that they are supposed to round up their case, but I know that they still have witnesses to call. They are still expecting documents from INEC, which INEC is still trying to be intelligent. And one of the beautiful things is that prior to this entire case, that is the first petition we tendered, we had already highlighted very important documents that we would be tendering. Among the things tendered today by Tanko are evidence of payments, evidences of letters requesting for some of these documents, which INEC till today has failed to provide, the Labour Party team, and also some other documents. We also saw him speak to the double nomination case. Some people don't like to see it, but to me, the double nomination case is the strongest case to me, because this is a clear thing that is clear before the law. Not only clear before the law, we have documents to prove that yes, he indeed that this young man had double nomination. The reason why I place it as the strongest above even the 25% is I'm not saying that that one is not strong. The reason is this. Now, when you talk about the violations of certain provisions of the law and you need the court to interpret, usually the court has the discretion. You don't need to call any witness to prove, you don't need any fact to prove. The court will simply apply the law. And you know how funny our judicial system is. They can decide to find one crazy rule and apply whichever way they feel. But here, when we have events with facts, testimonies have been made, documents have been tendered showing proof that within so hour to so hour, this guy was a candidate for senatorial district and he was also a candidate as the vice presidential candidate for the same party. So Tanko spoke to the document. We also saw him speak to the drug case, which had already been tendered by our first witness in the case. Now, in court, you just need to make sure that all the documents you tender, that you either make arguments to each and every one of them, or your witnesses speak to the documents. That is why you started seeing that thing flying around at that time that they said that the court is going to say we dump documents on them. You don't just dump. You can put documents to the court. Once you have your witness speak to it, then you didn't dump it. Once you have your counsels argue to the document, then you didn't dump it. And that's what you are already seeing, and it's beginning to make sense. All the puzzles are beginning to fit in to show you that these guys are just the greatest fraud of all time, the greatest circus. In fact, they just played us. The more you look, was it even the more you look, the less you see, or they just blatantly decided to be foolish because we were all looking and we were seeing everything that was going on. So that is all that have been arising from the court. Tanko will be back tomorrow for his cross examination, and I'm sure he's going to make very important, revelations. He's going to.
Uh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, okay, yeah, you
Yeah,
now.
sorry, I had to take a call and cut it off. So I'm sure that during his cross examination tomorrow, he's going to make very important clarifications as to those documents. We also saw the issues regarding what's it called, the cyber tech guy also, who they were trying to put under pressure to agree to some issues when he was asked whether that he did not submit for Benue State because he did not list the name Benue State in his statement on oath. Now you don't need to list the state that you are referring to if you have already directed the court to that particular exhibit, because in his witness statement on oath he had already directed the court that attached to this witness statement on oath is exhibit A. So when you now go to exhibit A, you will now see the polling units that he investigated as they relate to Benue State. So the questions that he did not list Benue State amongst Rivers, Anambra, and the rest is just trying to be technical and nothing more than that. So well, I think today is the best outing so far that we've had. I tell you, we used the entire time in the court proceedings today, not only using apart from the late coming, of course, not only using the entire time, we tendered documents, we spoke to our documents, there was no problem at all with the witnesses. It was just smooth all through, and we would continue pushing it. Now, let me just speak a bit. I know I've been speaking about the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, but pardon me some time to just speak on a bit of the topic. 114% salary increase. Now, when you speak of the judiciary, there is a need for you to increase the salary of the men working in the judiciary. But then let's consider it. You increase salary by 114%. I always like to give this analysis. You see that there's nothing anymore being subsidized in Nigeria. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. They don't subsidize education, they don't subsidize healthcare, they don't subsidize foodstuffs, they don't subsidize petroleum. We pay exorbitant prices for all of these things. Yet they've refused to cut the cost of governance. They are now increasing cost of governance. So the people are not only paying exorbitant prices for all these things that I've listed, but we are also paying politicians who are holding political offices. Not only have we been paying them, we have, no, not we. One man who was just given a stolen power has decided to increase it by 114%. It is insane. It is sheer and utter madness for anybody to think of it. The fact that previous governments have complained about monies, the problems of monies in Nigeria, the fact that states cannot even afford the 30,000 naira that is being paid as minimum wage, and the government is not even meeting up with its payment of gratuities, payments of pensions, and all of that. But you continue to increase the money for governance. How can we continue to afford it? Recall, prior to this time, I was questioning the fact that we are bringing out a commission again, an electoral offences commission, which I kicked against. That INEC can create a department. That department will be in the duty of trying electoral offences. Why create an entire commission and bring more people to keep on eating government money without doing anything daily? Now he is increasing salaries. Are you aware that civil servants now are now doing shifts? They do 2 days on, 2 days off. They go to the office for 2 days and don't go for 2 days because they can no longer bear the consequences of petrol, of transportation, of feeding, and the likes. This is happening in a lot of ministries. You can ask. I'm not telling you things that are not happening in Nigeria. So it's just insane. It only shows you the more a man who does not think, he just wakes up and decides to take certain decision that favors nobody. Well, since he has increased their salary, they need to work. That is why he needs to put the person in France who needed to speak on his behalf, because the person's salary too has been increased, and the person is sharing the presidential salary with Tinubu. But then I'm happy that we are on the route of collecting back our mandate, and God will give it to us. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak, and thank you. Well meaning, I see your hand. Have a pleasant night.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Yusi. Thank you very much. Lady Liberty, be like say now you know what, you don't turn down for that YouTube. I can see your super charges. Thank you very much, Liberty Champion. Okay, let's quickly go to Barrister Juliet.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
I'm
evening, oh, where you go before?
no,
You,
I've been
you
very
went to
much on
parallel fact and left violence space. Now, wow.
no way. I've actually been here. Most time, I'm usually in the comments, in the audience, just listening and getting myself enriched with people's facts, figures, and everything. And actually, why I even stepped up to the speaker session today was just to acknowledge what you all are doing to encourage obedience worldwide, to say, well done, we are here, you'll keep on inspiring. And just to greet everyone, it's actually not a comment. UC has actually done justice to the summary of what happened today. It's actually a delight always going to court these days to observe the proceeding as it relates to the presidential election matter. So good. Well done. I hail everyone. I hail you, Saddam, Otumba, everyone on the space. My love, my greetings, and keep on doing what you're doing. Lots of love from here, and well done. Good night.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Juliet. And since whenever you're ready, feel free to pop in. But let's go to Real Jack. Real Jack, please go ahead. Please, let's do 4 minutes. I know because we've taken a lot, not we, Elon Musk. Elon Musk are taking a lot of our time, so that we can take a lot of people that want to
Yeah,
speak.
thank you.
Real Jack, go ahead.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. In fact, it is even good that this thing happens so that some of us who have not been to the YouTube and the the radios today, we're able to go there. I think anytime we come here, we should be able to drop in the URL so that some of us can easily go to that area and listen. And please, so anytime our attentions are needed to support, because this is our own government now until our mandate is restored, because we can now afford not to come and gather in our own town hall that is different from that of Bulabu. So it's very, very necessary. So having said that, I think the technology introduced in the Nigerian system of election is what is going to expose INEC to the later. I think I don't know how they think at this present generation they are going to play this kind of expensive game on the sensibility of the people and get away with it. I don't think it's going to be possible. I remember when INEC hardly run to this same appeal court to sort for an injunction or to sort for a leave according to them, that they want to reconfigure these beavers. I was asking, beaver that is meant for that is meant for this particular exercise, you only have to partition information, different information for different purposes. I don't know the reason why they want to format the beavers, say because they want to conduct presidential they want to conduct a gubernatorial election. I knew these guys were up to something, but unfortunately to them, whether you format the system or not, the ITS part they will still do crash recovery. Whatever you did in the system will be obvious. This is a tech generation. There's no how you're going to do it because you did not build the system. You didn't design it. So there's no how we are going to manipulate this system that is going to work. We are going to find out what you did. And by so doing, we expose you to the world. You may be reading the election from the donkey years, but this particular dispensation is different because technology is involved. And I know the judiciary, the court, they are listening. Each time they send their people to come and eavesdrop. We are believing that they are going to do the right thing at the end of the day. Because it's for their own benefit, it's for the benefit of Nigeria and benefit of everybody, because obedience and Nigeria are not going to watch you robbers of this victory that we have gained for Nigeria, for a new Nigeria. We're not going to let it happen. If you think we are leaving anytime soon, you are mistaken. We are going to continue to stay here to see the end of this case and make sure the mandate is restored. It's for your own good, though, because time may come when you begin to look for somebody you negotiate with, you will no longer see the time. So now that we have the opportunity to do all the things right, let us have them done right. So at the end of the day, we'll not be running helter-skelter where political office holders who are embedded in corruption will come and throw over 114% increment to the offices. What are they doing? What are they even doing for Nigeria in the first place? You remove subsidy on everything. The masses are suffering. No palliative. Even this one, they are saying they are coming up with. Is it a PG what? They are coming up with a type of PMS that the motorists will use so that they will cushion the fate. They lack understanding. They lack knowledge. They have nothing on the table. They are just blabbing and deceiving themselves. So it doesn't matter who is suffering. It doesn't matter who is unemployed. The most important thing to them is how to appropriate money to themselves and loot Nigeria dry from where Buhari has kept, where Buhari remain. So they want to continue from there so that every day you'll be welling. You will not have anything to say. It be a situation whereby you will have the cabal run a police system. At the end of the day, they will reach a deal with the social media. They will lock it down. You will not even have opportunity again to even advocate for good governance. They will make sure they cage you. Remember, after NSAS, they started fighting. But I thank God at this point in time that a change has come. And that change, which is the vision for New Nigeria, in our time, we must see it come to pass. I yield back the mic. Thank you, and God bless all the business.
All right. Thank you very much, Real Jack. Thank you very much, Real Jack. That was a very stern submission. So I think actually I may need to further reduce that time because we have so many requests. And I know a lot of people have know how to speak because of the Twitter glitch. So let's pity our brothers. So if you are speaking, just know that it's because of the other people. I have to play the sound for you to round up your submission. All right, thank you very much. Let's quickly go. Please, if you want to speak, raise up your hand. If not, I mean, just be going past you and going back and forth. Ubazi, are you there? Or UBAZ? Ubazi.
Hi guys.
Yeah, go ahead. 3 minutes.
This is actually my first time speaking on Vawulence Space, but the truth is, I've been following Vawulence Space, but I just don't talk. I don't talk a lot, but I just wanted to chip in, because of this Chinese thing. All right. So I'm going to take it from another angle. Lagos state government is owing 1.3 trillion. And I mean, before now, you know, if you ask me, I would say maybe they took loans and, to build the airport, the seaport. But now to hear this, I'm shocked. What did they do with these monies? What did Well, we've always known. Then I'm go. Oladipo talked about going to a school, and it reminded me of 2 weeks ago. I went to my friend's place in somewhere in Baltimore. I live in the United States, and he took me to his house. He's a Nigerian. He married an American who is works in the university, and basically the wife works and schools in the university, and they are staying. The guy is staying in the girls' what is supposed to be a hostel. I went to this fool's house, and I mean their hostel. I wept for Nigeria, like a family living in a hostel accommodation for a student with other teenage students. I now realized I went to Futo, and I now realized why we keep on churning out crazy people, because with the conditions of when I went to school in Futo, comparing it to what I saw 2 weeks ago, then imagining what it is now, I just couldn't fathom it. I only spent 1 year in the hostel in school. That 1 year, I swear to God, I could not enter their toilet once. I would go to my house in nowhere to do a number two and come back to school because I could not take it. But this is a whole man staying in a hostel with the wife. And you tell Nigerians these things, they don't understand. People think all these things Peter B was saying, he's just saying it for saying sake. Meanwhile, this school I'm saying is probably not top 200 in America. This is like every other regular school. I think people should travel, and they will come back and stone these our leaders for real. But it's even more fucked up because there are some fools who are abroad who are supporting the same government. So you don't even know which one to you don't know what to believe anymore, because nobody is making sense anymore. Guys, all eyes on the judiciary. We must get them to do what is right. We must get them to do what is right, and we must win our mandates back. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Ubazi. Thank you. A mumu in Nigeria may be a bigger mumu abroad. So, thank you very much for that submission. Meanwhile, shout out to Levi Odira. I can see your super chat on the YouTube channel. Thank you. Shout out to Levi Odira.
Where Lady Liberty run go? I saw her request. Oh, she don't run. Oh.
Oh, she don't come back here. Liberty, I see they see her handwork. She did both here, both YouTube and this place then. All right, let's quickly go to okay, let's take a lady, a new Nigeria. Auntie Pedro, are you here?
Yes, well, hi, how are you?
Yeah, fine. 3 minutes.
Well, meaning, you did that intentionally, didn't you? Mo máa gbàdúrà fún ẹ. Má jẹ́ kí n ṣépè fún ẹ bí Jimmy o, even though my Yoruba is not that good. But in fact, it might even make that curse work because it will just be all mixed up. Anyway, God bless you there. Hi, Saddam. Hi, Otsuba. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Sizzle. Hi, Sizzle. We miss you. Oh. Please, at least let me speak for myself. I miss you. Oh. I wish I had money to just pay you to permanently be on Violence. Please. Eh? We really miss you. Please.
Can reach out to his manager, Saddam. Saddam can make that.
Are you kidding? Saddam's fee is too expensive. That's why all those people that are supercharging on YouTube, they better stop it because we can't.
No, because of me, I'll do discount, man, discount.
Definitely.
He went to record our new album, Wahala Records. We are coming with a banger. He will anticipate soon.
It's true. Sizzle is worth it. It's worth the full charge. Um, well, good evening, everyone. Um, this issue is just perplexing me about Nigerians and as a Christian, I really just feel like I have to talk about it um, because I just keep wondering, why do my Nigerian people still say that God will make evil favor them? I mean, is God now unholy? Is that what we are saying? Is that God is now unholy? You know, for anyone to justify Tinumbu, for even countries, I'm talking about countries that claim that they're Christian countries. I know China is not, so we can't go there with China. But at least all the other countries, I want everybody to, if they claim that they're Christians, to please give us their justifications, and from the scriptures, not from their shrines, from the scriptures. My Nigerian people call on God in every corner of Nigeria, every corner, whether they are Muslims, Christians, or even the traditionalists self, they are calling on some version of a small God, which is under the greatest God. But they refuse to call out evil for what evil really is, for what this is, which is evil. They prefer to use spiritual excuses to justify a thief and a terrorist than be bold and stand up to the thief and the terrorist. I don't understand. Besides the obedient movement, all institutions in Nigeria defy accountability. Nobody wants to be accountable. You know, the average Nigerian will blame their villagers for witchcraft when they are sick. Even though they've been out partying all night and mosquito has been biting them, they will still claim it's their villagers that gave them that malaria. I don't understand, you know. But when it comes to the thief, they won't blame the thief for stealing. They would now look at it from a physical lens that, yeah, he should be excused for all his problems, that it was something evil that made him do it. There's no accountability. It's just mind-boggling. And in the scripture, I have to quote this, Luke 17. Otuba, I know you pardon me because I know you don't get too religious or whatever, but Luke 17, it says, Jesus said this, take heed.
Oh, now let me say that doesn't mean you can't read the Bible.
No, 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 no.
You put it over, yeah.
I know. Luke 17, verse 3 says, take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespassed against thee, rebuke him. Please, Christians, if he has trespassed against the whole country, not just against one of you, so rebuke this man collectively in whatever way you can. Please rebuke him. Please. And then the other thing is this, how the mighty have fallen, the so-called giant of Africa. Think about this, every Nigerian, please, how much we have fallen. In the 1980s, it was someone that was reminding me this. In the 1980s, Chinese were selling fake goods. Not Abamedo. Our Abamed is precious. They were selling the fake of the fake on the streets of Lagos. They were mere beggars in the 1980s when Nigeria was prospering. Now, they have now come into Africa. They came in the 2000s, because I remember going to a seminar about this. They came in the 2000s and they entered Africa under the disguise of agriculture. They were claiming they were giving seeds, you know, pest resistant seeds. Only God knows if those seeds have not even destroyed all our farms. That's going to take another research to even discover that. They came on that guise, and all of a sudden, African people just let them in, as we usually do. And now, they've advanced to terrorism. I'm going to post this on the Jumbotron, but I'll just well meaning, can I just read this one sentence out of this article? Do I still have time?
I was already waving my hand, but just go ahead.
Okay.
Maybe you can
All
close
right.
30
Thank you.
seconds.
So this is an article from the Times, and it's Thursday, June 22nd of 2023, and it says Chinese bribed Nigerian militants for access to vast mineral reserves, and this was written by Richard Ashiton in Lagos. Chinese mining bosses are funding Nigerian militant groups in order to secure access to the country's mineral reserves, raising the prospect that Beijing could be indirectly funding terror in Africa's largest economy. Nigerians, you have become slaves to the people that were begging on your streets in Lagos in the 80s. That should be a reason to require accountability. If you don't, this will get worse. I yield the mic. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Auntie Pedro. Uh, thank you very much. Okay, quickly, let's go. You know the funny thing I say, Liberty Champion went to YouTube and shaded Twitter. Now she's back to Twitter and she's requesting mic. You accept the mic. You like Twitter head down on YouTube and say, you have say you will come back. Oh God. Liberty Champion keep requesting. I will keep trying. I think it's probably just an error somewhere. Okay, let me quickly take please, if your hand is not up, I can't call you. Um, so please put up your hand if you want to speak. Let's take God's will Nwankwo. I know you've been here for a long time. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate you guys, man. Doing a great job, putting the foot on their neck and constantly pressing. Anyway, just like I said a couple of days ago, these guys are parasites. The current criminally elected leaders in Nigeria and their agbados have one thing in common. They have a deficiency of enterprise. Okay? And that is why they are blood sucking parasites. They are parasitic in nature. Their methods are parasitic. They think in parasitic ways, and they can only survive by leeching them, the leaders, and their followers, the Agbados, can only survive by leeching off the collective resources of the poor and the economically traumatized Nigerians. That is all. That is the only game they have. That is their one trick ponies. Okay, and and two other deficiencies they have, as they have deficiency of morals, they have deficiency of character, word of emulation. And of course, there's a video that Jimmy shared a couple of days ago. You know, of course, they're idiots. Okay? If you want to know more, if you want to know more, just go watch the video. And President Obama, my favorite president in the world, he had one of these proteges, and Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois, President of Illinois. Shout out to Illinois. So he gave this, you know, accurate description of how to detect idiots. Go watch it, and you come to the conclusion that these Agbados are idiots. Okay? So, but let me just kind of break down this. 2 weeks after the whole Kabuki dance, with the so-called Dangote refinery, I was just looking at, because I've known about that this was a scam. This was a scam. So there was this meeting of a group of um, developing economists investment fund. They were from New York, California, Texas, and all that, and they were talking about this refinery thing that was going on in Africa, the biggest refinery and all that. And I was a Nigerian there, so obviously they turned to me and say, what's the deal? I told them it's a big scam. They say, what? They say they're about to deploy some resources, they're about to deploy capital, to go and invest in some value chain, invest in some of the value chain that's associated or affiliated with the refinery. I told them, you know what, that they shouldn't do it. They shouldn't do it because it's scam, because as far as I'm concerned, that whole thing is a kabuki dance and it wouldn't deliver the returns that you expect. Okay? So we did a good job at the marketing, the refinery. And of course, I got a call from one of them today. He thanked me. He was so profusely thankful that I had to talk him out of it because everything that they saw going on with the Dangote refinery looks like a scam, a big old scam. Okay? So we all know that the only way you can grow economy is by growing sales or you're cutting expenses. Okay? And unfortunately, you have a lot of folks like me in diaspora that will continue the marketing these criminals, ensuring that the access to foreign investment is jeopardized. And in the next 2 weeks, we're going to sending out a credit risk assessment to all the capital institutions, the loan institutions, to let them know that it's time that we rate Nigeria a junk investment grade, until our electoral mandate is restored. Because as long as our electoral mandate is not restored, Nigeria will be a junk investment grade. It will be a no-go place for any investor in any part of the world, no matter how much they try, they go and claim that they are meeting with investors, are visiting heads of state. That's not going to happen. So, as they continue they cannot grow sales, they cannot produce, they cannot cut costs because they are so greedy. They keep raising cost of governance, and they can't get access to foreign investment. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to be taxing Nigerians to debt. They're going to tax to debt. They're going to grab all that money wherever they can find, and they're going to tax. But, in investment, we call it there's no more meat in the bone. There's going to be anguish and pain. And you know what? This is going to get worse, because the only way we can greenlight any investment that can be deployed to Nigeria, or that we can greenlight some of our investment partners so that they can deploy their resources to Nigeria, is only if the mandate is restored. And then, after the mandate is restored, we can greenlight those investment partners, and they can flood the entire country with surplus capital in every sector of the economy, and everybody can be happy. Okay? So if the judiciary wants to play with our mandate, well, guess what? There's going to be a punishing economic anguish that will be unleashed across the country. And let's see how they can govern with a crippled value chain in key sectors of the economy. And, here in the US, most of us here in the US, that people react when their pocketbook takes a hit. And let's see how they are by those who, of course, they have deficiency of enterprise. Let's see how they react when punishing extended penury hits them in the face. And we know they have deficiency of enterprise. So let's just keep doing what we're doing. But I guarantee you that it will be better that Tinubu just bows out and just hands over that certificate of return to the rightful owner, and not go through this pain, because there is no way out. I rest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very. I mean, your submission was so stirred. And you finally ended it with Cizo's advice to Tinubu every time. That Tinubu should just gently hand over the mandate. With personally, I just say, okay, from what I've discovered, I don't think I'm the right man for the job. As if you know, even if you don't want to pretend as if he knows he lost the election, you just say, okay, come and take this mandate back. Thank you very much for that. All right, let's quickly go to Mr. Ken. Mr. Ken, please go ahead. Mr. Ken, Tanko, Truth, JRV, Billy, your hands are not up, so I don't know what you want me to do with your hands. Ken, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon, wherever you're spacing from. I normally like to stay on the audience, but I came out for attack today on Jimmy and Otumba on a lighter note anyway. So first of all,
Are you a PhD holder?
you check my profile if you want to know anyway.
Wait. Otumba, it's not only Mr. Ken, just wait. Mr. Ken, go ahead.
Anyway, so well-meaning Nigeria. First of all, I want to thank you for the introduction of this, your notification of time. Since you've done it, I think it stopped interrupting people's thought of flow. So well done. Sizzle, I badu your style. In fact, every time you're talking, I try to sit down and listen. It seems you lecture me every time you talk. Saddam, continue your good work. God is saying you. Jimmy, my own attack is that you don't recognize us that are the benchers, those in the audience. I'm trying to draw your attention, though. Some of us have permanent chair in the audience. Recognize us more. And on a lighter note, anyway, So Tumba, it's not like I'm trying to. Today I had I wrote something on the Deep Boss tweet when he was trying to say about Rufai, telling him that listen, I have a PhD like you, but I watch my thoughts and I guide what I share. You don't just come out and gaslight Nigerians and expect them to accept whatever you do. No. But let me tell you this: the same Professor Mahmood that rigged this election got his PhD from UK, not Nigeria. Deepo got his PhD from UK. So most of the people that are in Nigeria causing problem have their PhDs and their professors or whatever outside the country, not even from Nigeria.
Hold on. What did you just say? You said most of the people that are causing the problem have what?
Their PhD and professorship
Thank you.
acquired from abroad,
That's what I
not
needed to hear from you.
Nigeria.
No, Otumba.
You don't understand.
Ke-
You
Mr. Ken
already
is
said the
saying
key
that
word.
in it people that you should channel
It's
your
not about
anger
any
towards
people.
in it
I'm not
PhD.
worried about it. I'm worried about the PhD and the professorship.
So yes, I get your point, but what I'm trying to say, the whole POs or what presiding officers, all of them are graduates in every field of degrees. We can't drop one brush and across all because you've been saying this consistently. It's not today. I have taken note of all
Because
this.
I mean it. I really see from the depth of my heart. You cannot point Nigeria's problem and leave out the academia. Academia has, you see, ever since the past how many years? One of those that made people like me follow Buhari are Nigeria academia. So
Okay, so
Otumba, for too long in this country, once you don't read book, you remember from our parents' generation, he's the headmaster of the village. Then go they give him respect. Academia no get sense because this same Nigerian where they hold last week, he go UK, go they fuck 11-year-old girls, 12-year-old girls. If you leave the bastard, no be school where you go read, no be school you go read. If you leave him now, you go get PhD. Begin talk for timeline. You will turn to an agbado by 2027. Now academia, and I know go say he likes his butt tickled by pre-teen girls. Now them will PhD my foot. I mean, in short, I dey vex. Now I never talk since. Continue.
let me finish, please. The truth is that, and this is why I took this space to talk. Most of my colleagues here in the UK, even as lecturers that are Nigerians, are waiting for opportunity to get appointment to come and embezzle, not because of the degree they have. It's greed. So it's not about the certificate, whether PhD or professorship or doctorate degree or whatever. No. It's about people's personality. It's about what people believe in. Using this certificate as a shadow is a cover. But some people acquired it genuinely. But what I'm trying to say in essence is that for me, if you want to say, like Otumba said, he has problem with people in Nigeria, most of those people that have causing that problem acquired their PhD from developed countries, going back to Nigeria to go and cause problem for us. Our educational system is bad. It has affected everybody's rationality. Everybody now thinks that except politics, except working for a politician, except being close to corridor of power, you can't make it in life. It's unfair. So please, for me, I want to say, let's reduce attachment on the title of academics or whatever. If you go to my timeline, you will never see where I have said anything. I have a PhD. I don't brag with it, but it's something I've got.
I'm not talking to people like you. Me, those that I'm talking to understand themselves. I want to say this. See, the religious leaders and academia is me, my own beef with them. Because I know you can do an entire space on what they've done, and no one legitimizes corrupt leaders more than the academia. What is it actual? Like I can go back. I can. When I mean academia, I'm not just saying. I know. I say, and some of it is sarcasm. I'm obviously see. I have friends that are PhD holders. One is even going to speak after you. So it's not. I know. Yeah, it sounds generalization, but it's just like pastors. Also, there are pastors I listen to. But when I say the Nigerian religious leaders and academia, especially PhD holders and professors.
I give up on you, Otuba. Anyway,
Okay. See, elections has been how Nigeria. See, okay, the way we get leaders is through elections. So let me take it back to '99. Our Rex from as far as I can remember, Rex, whether INEC chairman or Rec chairmen, have always been academia. And they've always, the governors, you can listen to how Donald Dude explain how they bribe Rex. From 1999, 2003, whether at state levels, now they took it federal in 2015. Academia that run elections have been our biggest problem. They are the ones that connive with these politicians. They are the ones that go in bed with them. They legitimize them. They run to take appointments from them. They will go on TV and defend nonsense with their PhD and professorship title. The one with the gray hair will call people that are trying to hold a government accountable fascist without
Practice.
saying nothing about the others. So yeah, I know some of it is sarcasm, but some of it is also true. You can draw a line from Nigerian academia and religious leaders to the woes we currently have. Now, I know the politicians, I know they are a problem, but two people are responsible for putting them there, in my opinion: religious leaders and academia.
All right. Anyway,
Okay.
so for me, I
Okay.
just want
Ken,
to
just
say
round up in 30 seconds here.
a shout out to everyone that have been doing whatever they are doing. I forgot to mention people like Pearl in their space, giving us update, General Lucci, Bolanle, and every other person. I have always been here on the audience. I have not spoken in a long time, but Otumba brought me out to speak today. I'll go back to where I have been hiding. Thank you guys, everybody. I appreciate.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ken. Thank you very much. Okay. Let me just do a roll call of people down because I think some people are here and just sitting. Meanwhile, there are people requesting. If you want to speak, if you don't raise up your hand, I may have to drop you. Then maybe whenever you are ready, you can request again.
Please
Um,
drop me.
yeah, Mr. Ken, no problem. All right, let's quickly go to Shiloh. Shiloh, please go ahead.
Uh, Good evening, Otumba, Alpha. Well meaning, Sizu, Sadam.
Another my PhD friend.
Let the PhDs brief. Don't suffocate us. You have that responsibility. See, at the end of the day, it sounds, there's so many things that we can criticize and everything, and rightly so. But if you look at the bigger picture, you see that every hallowed position in Nigeria, every hallowed position, or the position that should be respected, has been corrupted. I mean, you just spoke focusing on one, say academia, right? And rightly so, because at the end of the day, who conducted these elections, or who was the people that were supposed to be INEC recs and things like that, and returning officers, and the Mahmoud himself, where was he from? And that is done to legitimize, like you rightly said, unfortunately. So I understand completely. I mean, what is it, pastors you want to talk about? Is it professors you want to talk about? I know somebody who's a retired major general, but the worst thing you can do to him is introduce him as with his title. If he chop slap, because of how bad the system has just corrupted every single thing. So it's not unwarranted. I mean, Deepak, don't fire you, Sha, but it's fine. I move on to the topic. Talking about I mean, you see that I say this, I sound like a broken record, even when I'm lecturing, but I tell my students that listen, the foreign policy of every country is inherently self-serving. It's supposed to look out for itself. And peace. Start from there. So what you see, like a China doing with the SeaPort, they know what they're after. Because at the end of the day, they are looking to for something to leverage upon. In this case, resources, reach, with the advantage of their population. Which you have already pointed out that even the people that are coming out here, most of them have criminal records, and they are sending them instead of them just languishing in jail. They say, okay, we can use you for this. But the difference in our dear Nigeria is that this self-serving nature is more individualized. Now me. in Nigeria or Africa in general, all you need to do is go and meet one single politician or a group of them and say, okay, we'll give you X or Y amount. The rest is yours. Which is why you have because the politicians themselves, what they looking at, they rather bother about 114% increase rather than, okay, what are we looking to get out of this as a country? So this is what you see. That's why you see there's a stark difference. A Chinese man can come in here and beat a Nigerian and nothing will happen. You can kill a Nigerian and nothing will happen. Because the institutions, it still goes back to this institutional voice. The institutions are supposed to, keep standards in check. We are busy. Chop money, chop money, chop money. And if one does not have, just go and look at, for instance, the 5 C's that Peter Obi keeps talking about: character, capacity, competence, and all that. It is very. You would think that, okay, if you would think that, okay, if it's me, I will not shake. But you have to be tested first, which is why most of us that find ourselves where we are today, we've been tested one way, shape, or form. Most of us that are in this obedient movement, we've been tested beyond this. We've been tested and seen that, okay, listen, it is not even about the selfish interest. We are genuinely wanting things to be better. Who know they find money for here? But most of us have our careers. We're talking about wealth with enterprise. But what do you have now? The order of the day, Mahmoud has sold this. He has sold an entire voting class, the entire election for what? Nothing less than money, and he's a professor. So when an Otumba comes and says, PhDs, I understand. I mean, Dipo decided to be unfortunate, but he's rubbing off on everybody. I cannot criticize anybody because I fully understand the reasons why. If we were functioning, you will not find a seaport. You will not find. Go and look at countries like Uganda or like Zimbabwe. Go and look at the way they look at Bangladesh. As one of their seaports, they did the same move. That is how they got the seaport. And politicians were here, 114% increase. That's what they're focused on. Of course, they will. Of course, any title will be abused, and it should be abused, rightly so, because we are supposed to be the custodians of quote unquote of standards and the likes. Meanwhile, in a hallowed institution of a university, they are burning girls. They burnt a girl alive last year, like in a university, and that was allowed to just go like nothing happened. A pastor will come and tell you, come and bobo you, and tell you aspire to Maguire. Meanwhile, he cannot tell you the truth. He cannot tell you the truth of why you have to be politically active. So it's very understandable. It's very, very understandable. I get it, but let's brief small. Let's make we get small this thing a big. Thanks. I think I'll yield at this point.
My doctorate friend, he's working well, but I mean, I get where. And some of the sarcasm, like seriously, do I take it seriously? But I know how much the academia is revered in other countries and how they lend their voices and they speak very loud on issues they do not. But in like Nigerian academia is largely silent. The only time they talk is when ASU strike. It's about ASU. And that fight for ASU is not even really about the benefits of the Nigerian students. It's their own pockets and their own welfare. So, which is one of the reasons of my gripe. Yeah, obviously, I know. So that might
I'm
end up
kidding.
too. So, but I mean, even me,
I'm kidding. See, I'm kidding. See, no, they collect. No, they collect. They give us because the truth of the matter is we should be doing much more. I be people that are supposed to. You can't have read 4 or 5 years only to come and be stupid
I
for what
was
money.
expecting all our professors in economics to go on TV or go on where and write think pieces about why they, challenge, speak, let them say, because if we say, they will say, because we are this. But if you have a professor in economics or a professor that studies finance or someone is coming out and publicly speaking against the government and saying this is X, Y, Z, a lot more people will pay attention to them. But no, they'll be quiet. They'll call us fascist. Back to you, woman, Nigeria.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Utuba. All right. Let's go quickly to Liberty Champion. Let's take a lady. Liberty Champion. Well done for the work on the YouTube channel.
Say me I be silent shareholder for Violence Crew. So anyway, my people, can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, perfectly.
Fantastic. Anyway, I will not belabor the topics that have all been spoken about. In fact, Shiloh, as you were speaking, I just dropped up a tweet on the JT. There is an ongoing petition for fighting for justice for murdered Deborah, whom you mentioned. One of our group members in the Coalition for Electoral Justice, we are aiming for 25,000 signature. We want to get the foreign secretary here to summon the ambassador for Nigeria here in the UK. We want to do what we can to fight for justice for the family of Deborah. So this is our little step. So please, guys, help circulate the petition, sign the petition. We need to hit 25K for us to initiate that move with the foreign secretary here in the UK. Thank you very much. And my second tweet on the JT is our virtual event with the Labour National Youth Leader and the Director General of the LP candidate for Imo State. So please share the tweet. Come on, come on. And yes, guys, all my family here, Cecil, Jimmy, man, if not me say you did America, the way you speak the Yoruba, I really enjoy it. I'm a sucker for language. So whenever you say it, I really, really enjoy listening to you. In fact, just they speak Yoruba every day for Twitter. It's very good. Otumba, your submission about academia, yeah, is very true. And I understand where Ken is coming from. But you see, Ken, sometimes when we talk like this, don't worry about justifying yourself to us. You are preaching to the choir. The people we are addressing are the minority corrupted academia that have sold their soul. And you are right. Some, not all pastors in this dispensation, some pastors really spoke out for justice, like the gentleman in the Middle Belt. He has been very outspoken on a few, but there are others who have been complacent. So we know at the end of the day, na agbado, na stomach first. So not many. Many are called, few are chosen. That's what's happening. For me, the only thing I want to talk about is I'm not surprised about the salary increase. For goodness sake, that is expected. I would be surprised if they done otherwise. I will be completely surprised. Everything that has happened so far is a confirmation of the agenda. These people are just looters, and all they want to do is loot. So there's nothing new that they're bringing to the table. A lot of people have alluded to the fact that they are trying to implement Peter Obi's manifesto, but because they are not the origin, they don't even know how to start. So they're just messing things up. So let them enjoy the ride while they can. Their time in Aso Rock is limited, and they will be cleared away like the baggage of rubbish that they are. So Violence Crew, Parallel Fact, I hail you. And for everybody listening, much respect. Please sign the petition for Deborah. Please, please, please. We need to do something in that respect. Thank you. And I yield the mic.
All right. Thank you very much, Lady Liberty Champion. All right, quickly, let's go to Truth Emo. Truth Emo, are you there? Truth Emo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Good evening. Can I be heard?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you for the mic. Thank you for reading the mic. Well, first and foremost, I want to appreciate every obedient that has been steadfast with with us recovering our mandate, and I want to appreciate the old school host and every stalwart of this movement that has been lending their voice and their resources to this fight. And I know that at the end we shall celebrate. Now, my take is on this 114% salary increase. Well, first and foremost, I'm not surprised. What do you expect from a kleptomanic criminal drug lord? You know, looking at this country, corruption has been institutionalized. These politicians, they don't have our these politicians, they don't have our tip, or would I say I was informed about.
Truth Emo,
Yes.
I have a feeling I know what you were informed about, and trust me, I don't think you want to say it.
Really?
So what? Okay, just go ahead.
All right. I wouldn't mention name, but I'll just drop clue. There's an hotel in Lagos, very opulent and mighty. It was commissioned by the Lagos State Speaker. As I was told, this current Senate Speaker is the owner, but it is being fronted by some individuals, and I'm very sure that this drug lord, the Baron that stole our mandate, also have his own cut from the business. So why did I say this? These guys are just there for business. They're just there for business, and at the end of the day, they don't care. They're just destroying this country. But the good thing is, we have a new paradigm shift, a political one, to see this country work. And we have um, His Excellency, Mr. Gregory Peter Obi, who has proven his worth and has shown by his credentials that he's going to serve the people. And I'm very sure as regards we're not really trusting the judiciary. One thing I know is that even those judge, even though they've been bought, they know that they can't deny the evidence, and we are watching them. This country is at a point of collapse, a mighty one. And if they should steal our mandate, it's going to be bloody. At this point, I'll be hitting the mark. Once again, you guys are doing a great job. Continue, continue. God bless us all. I yield the mark.
All right, thank you very much, Truth Emo. I actually thought there's this thing people usually if they want to talk about Fabio and still making him what's it called, Senate president. They get one side where they want to go, where I know they like to hear that there is something something. All right, N6, I think you are ready to speak now. So after N6, we'll come to Nello.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Yeah,
Hi,
can hear you.
N6. I love
Evening.
Mm.
you.
You dey whine me? Who's that? Thank you. Love you too. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Hello. I've been listening. I was doing a lot of driving, so I just got back home. I'm more comfortable now. I just wanted to give a quick submission. Um, my submission is in two parts. The first part is Namumu still they believe Nigerian GOs. Why do I say this? When a pack of lions or is coming towards you, you don't have a chance to find out which of them has a toothache or which of them is a vegetarian. It's in your best interest to first of all run and then monitor them from a distance. At some point in Nigeria, the Nigerian Pentecostal movement came up to fill in a void, the void of monotony, the void of the first wave of Nigerian youth, especially the teenagers of the 1970s and the 1980s, engage in certain levels of tomfoolery that the Nigerian pastors, especially Nigerian GOs, have engaged in. The Nigerian Pentecostal Church had issues to the point that even within them, they would have issues with another GO like Temitope Balogu Joshua, aka TB Joshua, to the point TB Joshua died
And many of these Nigerian GOs held that beef. Rarely, many of them did not attend his funeral or even send letters. But why am I telling you all of this? If at this age, you're a Nigerian with pubic hair growing out of your loins, you're above 18 years of age, and you cannot discern between a man of God and a God of man, if at this age you're a Nigerian and a man stands on the pulpit and professes blasphemy, lies, says that he was spoken to from God, or actually gives an attitude or a statement that shows that nothing of him is from God, you are an idiot if you still help such a man to have a full church congregation the next church service that church has. But alas, we are where we are. Some of you love your pastors because he has a six-pack. Some of you love your GOs because of the phonetics. Some of you love your GOs because of the theatrics. And some of you love your pastors because you are downright evil people. And you're really just waiting for your own turn in the Nigerian wheel of fortune to favor you. So even better, you go to somewhere Pentecostal where your ego is stroked. It is sad. But I'll tell you that a renaissance is coming where a lot of Nigerians are going back to the Catholic Church and the Anglican Church. And I would advise you to catch that train early. Yesterday, a head of a Nigerian church came out and started saying Davido should sell his Mercedes Benz one thing. And I wanted to ask, waiting concern God, concern Virgil Abloh? Waiting concern prophecy, concern Maybach Benz? And that is the level of foolery we've engaged in Nigeria. Islam has proven. I talk this, I say Islam no they do advert to Muslim enter Surok. Anyhow, I won't talk and whether we they fight mandate or not. Islam no they do revival, they do advert, they do show for TBS. But Muslim tickets enter Surok. I have dared the Nigerian Christian congregation. It will be very interesting to see the day Christian ticket will be run in this country. We have a lot of interesting times ahead of us. So if you're in Nigerian at this point, your pastor has a 1 minute sermon anywhere where he does not sound godly, it is all on you and your fault that you even still keep going to his church the next day. I'll go back to our topic. 114% salary increase. Remember my last submission. Plata el plomo. What do drug barons do? Threaten, incentivize, rinse and repeat. Silver or lead. Silver or lead. Your money or your life. Your money or your life. Rinse and repeat. So, dear Nigerian judiciary, I promise you it will not stop. As they said in the Bible, the first king chastised you with whips, the second will chastise you with scorpions. Oh, Muhammadu Buhari used the DSS and removed the doors off the hinges of the houses of Nigerian judges. True or false? True. It is on public record. Muhammadu Buhari had the guts to remove a chief justice of Nigeria. True or false? True. I promise you the next king will remove all the chief justices of Nigeria and will arrest all the chief justices of Nigeria. And I promise you, because you are not on the side of the people, nothing will happen. I will tell you something. If the APC government had arrested somebody like Dora Akunyuli for her meritorious service in office, there would have been a protest right outside the prison she was kept in the next day. But they arrested Emefiele, a man who had held public office for 9 years. There is no hue, there is no outcry. Do you remember that there were people who used to protest on behalf of Emefiele in Abuja? Where are they today? Nowhere to be seen. To make you understand that the only cover you have in the judiciary is on the side of the people. Now the people go beat you the day you no give them their mandate. Now the people go defend the people where they beat you the day you give the people their mandate. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'd rather be damned for doing. So, I say this, dear judiciary, I've reached a point where all eyes on the judiciary, all eyes on the judiciary. One more time. The law is a weird subject. It is a weird course of study. It is a weird field of study. The law is incorruptible. The law holds a scale and a sword and is blindfolded. When a man is blindfolded, he does not see Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president to remove him if he does not meet the mandatory requirements. Same way he did not see, the law will not see Oyetola or did not see Oyetola in Osun State and removed him because he did not meet the mandatory requirements. The law is blind and justice is blind. So, I will tell the Nigerian judiciary, the law of Bawa 101, which we just found out a few days ago, states when you have the chance to prosecute corruption with all your might. Because when corruption gets the chance to prosecute you, corruption will not hesitate to prosecute you with all its might. So, dear Nigerian judiciary, televisions have been placed before you. Puff-puff cartons of evidence have been placed before you. Intelligent witnesses have been placed before you. A belligerent INEC has been placed before you in court. Labour Party has brought in a powerful set of attorneys. The APC have brought what I will actually call dimwits, because APC, I don't understand the foolishness they've been doing since. Is this person alive? Is not alive. You ask one question 3 times. That's all, Your Honor. No wahala. The ball is in your court. The ball is in your court. I promise you that the protests, the riots that will shake this country, it will not be called for from violent space. It will not be Peter Obi that will make it happen. It is Nigerians who are angry. It will not even be obedience. Remember, 2 people are in court. There is PDP faction. Those ones don't hold spaces. They just collect their money and move. I will also remind the Nigerian judiciary that please do not take Nigerians for granted. For it is in the same Nigeria where Muhammadu Buhari cried in 2011 and a mob of people got up and killed 1,000 Nigerians and burnt more than 100,000 pieces of property. Those same Nigerians are still amongst us. Those same Nigerians are still amongst us, dear judiciary. Do not play with Nigerians. We have a law-abiding leader. Does not mean that there aren't people in this movement who are willing to help you burn the country down. Ask the Lagos state government. When they tried to just set a few fires in Lagos to advance their cause after NSAS, they found out there were more than enough Agberos that were willing to help them burn down the rest of the city. The ball is in your court. I'll remind the Nigerian judiciary, no Nigerian in the history of Neverdom has ever gone to court with a Nigerian lawyer to face a Nigerian judge and beat his chest and said, I have trust in the Nigerian legal system. It's never happened. The Nigerian legal system is a roll of a dice. It's a lottery. It's too direct. It's lucky numbers in Baba Ijebu. We know this. So let me tell you, judiciary, today you act like you have your head screwed on right. Tomorrow you act like you're on the side of INEC. Today you act incorruptible. Tomorrow you act like you have collected money from Agbado. Nobody is begging the Nigerian judiciary. I repeat, we did not even go to court trusting judiciary that, oh, you are letting us down by your actions. It is still God punish you people from the first day we stepped into that appeal court, and it will still be thunder will fire you people even the day you give us our mandate. We are just telling you to do your job. Same way a doctor can be placed with a patient, and once everything for that surgery plus the drugs for that doctor is there, the doctor owes the world, himself, the Hippocratic oath, and the entire field of medicine to make that person whole. Whether the person is an armed robber, a thief, a criminal, as long as that person is in front of him as a doctor, the first thing he owes the world and the field of medicine is to do his goddamn job. So whether you like Peter Obi or not, whether you hate his bunch of young Gen Z fascists, whether the obedient movement turns your stomach, whether you hate what we've achieved in 9 months, we do not give a damn. We will place evidence before you to prove that we won this election, and you will do your job and hand us over our mandates. Also, heaven has a weird sense of humor. So I will give heaven this one 1-0. APC, from what God is showing me, was sent to clean up APC's shit. Because all Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done is reverse the stupid and idiotic policies of Muhammadu Buhari and his APC party in the last 8 years. There has been no new phenomenal concept proposed by the Bola Tinubu government that was not a reversal of a Muhammadu Buhari policy. If you're ready, let's start. Opening of the borders. Who closed the borders? Buhari. Arresting of Emefiele. Who worked with Emefiele? Buhari. Oil subsidy. Who could have done subsidy 8 years ago? Buhari. Who stopped subsidy 12 years ago? APC. Name it. Student loan. Bola Ahmed Tinubu talked about a student loan as far back as Buhari's campaigns of 2014 and 2015. So if they would have even implemented the student loan policy, it could have been done 8 years ago. All the APC has done today that has impressed you, all ye men of little it takes to impress you, is just literally reverse policies that they could have reversed 8 years ago. They tortured you for 8 years just to reverse these policies, and you're happy. It is sad, but this is what is happening. So, dear Judiciary, congratulations on your salary increase. Congratulobia. Well done. Congratulations on your increase in year of service before retirement from 65 years to 70 years. Congratulations. But let me also remind you of the news headline that flew over your head. Or any ruling that is considered undemocratic by the judiciary will not be obeyed. Presidency. That was also said in the last 5 days, just in case it slipped your ruling. So let me remind you that when the Nigerian police started faffing around, a video showed where an Agbero burst bottle on police head. It no take time. Celebrity days police. So their judiciary, they do your own. If it be say person go boss bottle, Agbero go boss bottle for Supreme Court judge head, or one musician go backhand Supreme Court judge for traffic. I don't know how destiny will pay you guys back, but if you know anything about Nigeria right now, the spirit of karma has been hovering around this country, and many tongues that have spoken against Peter Obi paid for it dearly. The Equirimados can tell you better. Ojius Okalu has wept in the hallowed chambers, but he had the most to say against Peter Obi in the beginning, if you remember. So a man who was the first person to bring down a governor who illegally collected his mandate before will also have the destiny as the first man to bring down the first Nigerian president who stole his mandate again. I will remind you, obedience, to be humble about the man Peter Obi. If we do not, look, let's try something, Saddam. We will not discuss anything on the judiciary on violence space for 1 week. Guess what will happen? Peter Obi will still show up in court. True or false? So he does not need you. He does not need me. He actually probably does not even need UC Maxwell or Sarah Ibrahim, because when he did it against Ngige, you were not there. It was not Saddam spurring on the people. It was not Otumba and Jimmy's submissions. It was not the judiciary. He did it before 3 times. So sometimes when we say all eyes on the judiciary, and some of you will start feeling, some of you enter my DM, N6, do you feel that INEC not supporting this man one mandate when INEC was using Biro, paper, and T-Pex? Is it now that are using Google Web Services and Amazon Web Service and everything is backed up? Now we go hard them to prove say win election. Now they mad. You guys should be calming down in this movement. Oh, you guys should be calming down. And very soon, Saddam will plan one violence space that will just come here and do party. Come here and tell us what you are grateful for. Let's discuss something else. Because this man is capable. Peter Obi will be in court tomorrow. General Oluchi said one day on her page that, she wants to take a week or some days off. If General Oluchi stops reporting this petition tribunal, Peter Obi will still be in court. True or false? True. So you say, Melembe, wherever you are, calm down. Our candidate is more than willing. Heaven has a weird sense of humor. APC will clean up APC shit, because one of my biggest fears was if Peter Obi had come up and tackled Hadi Sirika, they would say tribalism. If he had come up and tackled Emefiele, they would say that it's all the good works of Buhari. He wants to upturn it just before Nigerians will start to reap the benefits. If he had come up and floated naira and it went to 880 naira to $1 overnight, they will say that his economic policies. That's why he was talking. He was talking. Look at him now. But they are Bob the Builder, the man who constructed Lagos from the sounds of the Atlantic, hit the ground hard and running. You don't see him now. Sure, I don't see him. Type insult Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Twitter today. You will not see anybody to insult you or drag you back. All the Agbado now don't they go face renewed hopelessness. Look, my people. Have no fear. Calm down. And also, last but not the least, the Chinese came into this country as manufacturers of cheap and rubbish goods. I remember China. Back in the days of Taiwan and China were the same thing. Hey, these Taiwan parts, China goods. Before we knew it, we started hearing the Chinese were into agriculture. Chinese were in the farm, in the villages of Ondo, Ogun, Oyo, planting. China, don't they plant? Before we knew it again, we heard the Chinese were into construction. China is helping us build railway. How many things China they do? In 2 decades, China has morphed into four different facets in the Nigerian sphere. Yet Nigeria is not involved in all of this. It is sad. I'll show you some statistics just to blow your mind, because who am I without numbers? China accounts for 66% of debt service payments by Nigeria. That's the whole money where Nigeria they owe the world. China is 66% of that. That is how sad. That's how much of a chokehold China has on Nigeria. Nigeria, as I speak to you, owes China as of September 2022, the bilateral debt profile rose with Nigeria owing China 4.9 billion United States dollars. Now, even worse, because sometimes we forget that Nigeria also, Buhari borrowed to the point that Buhari borrowed $526.48 million from France and borrowed $57.11 million from Japan and borrowed $153.6 million from Germany. And Buhari even went as far as borrowing $27.17 million from India. Just in case you think it's only China that is going to come and seize your railway and your road. We are owing people money we cannot pay back. So I just want to tell you guys this, but this is what is interesting about what China is doing in your country. Liberty read something about how China might be sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, and it was right here on my submission, so I won't bore you with the details. But let me now tell you something that is very interesting. Nigeria, in April of 2023, the top imports of China from Nigeria were the following: petroleum gas, $95.8 million; crude petroleum, $71.5 million. But this is where it gets interesting. Solid minerals such as niobium, I have never heard of that mineral in my life. Vanadium, I have never heard of that mineral in my life. Zirconium, I've heard of it before. Zirconium ore. There's another one called tantalum. China is collecting this from Nigeria to the tune of the following money. China collects petroleum gas from Nigeria to the tune of $95.8 million. China collects crude petroleum products from Nigeria to the tune of $71.5 million. The top solid minerals that China collects from Nigeria as payment for all the things we owe them are the following: not gold, not silver, not diamonds. Niobium, tantalum, vanadium, and zirconium ore at $13.5 million, zinc ore at $13.1 million, and raw aluminium at $12.6 million worth every year. When we get down to understanding, because I found out that the terrorism activities in the north, from what I heard in the conspiracy theory, is for solid minerals that are being found in certain local governments, and they kill the people, chase them away under this their jihadization lies, and then start illegal mining there. Google all these things I'm telling you, or I will send you the link. I'll post it on the Jumbotron. What China is doing in Nigeria is deeper than they are building you some railways, borrowing you some money, and when you can return, they will collect your railway back. It's deeper than that. Learn to read below the surface. The APC, I remind you, are a party of devilish liars. Nigerians, I need you people to hate the APC. Hate them. Even if you're in APC, hate the APC so that it can help you hold the APC to account. Nigerians somehow allowed the mad people to take over the asylum, and we are paying for it with our lives. Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not look presidential, does not sound presidential, does not walk presidential, does not shake presidential. I saw him go to France, and what just broke my heart was, so that woman now, she's shaking him. She go just look and say, hey, so that is that Nigerian president that they say is a drug dealer. Like it or not, that is what will cross her mind. Like it or not, that is what will cross her mind. Damn, man, this guy returned $460,000 to the US for heroin trafficking. He's now the president of Burna Boy, Davido, Whiskey, and Rema's country. Wow. Judiciary, the ball is in your court. You can save Nigeria from this charade, or you can also prove to Nigerians that all is lost in this country. And then we, the Nigerians, will prove to you that options abound. Senegal is there, the Arab Spring is there, and a host of others. The man who went to find the court case, no mean say he trusts the judge or he trusts the judiciary. Now just say, make him just dey sure, say the last level of legality go fail him before he carry gun shoot up everywhere. If you know anything about court cases, that is most times what is happening. Judiciary, the ball is in your court. Whatever China is doing in Nigeria and Africa, it's already too late. A generation ago has sold us out to these people. The only thing we have is to get leadership right and start to build our country aright. I love you all. I love Nigeria. And I really believe that with Peter Obi at the helm of affairs, with empathy, with righteousness in Asu Rock, we will exalt this country. Nigeria, one more time, can be great in our lifetime. It will not take 4 years for Nigeria, with what we have in ourselves as Nigerians and what Nigeria possesses in Nigeria by way of solid minerals and what is in the mind of the average Nigerian. Nigeria will be the greatest country in the world in less than one democratic cycle of 4 years, I believe. Peter Obi will get back his mandate. The Nigerian judiciary knows better than these fun and games they are playing. So at the end of the day, I know that this movie will end in praise. We are the people who said we would win this election by a landslide. We worked for it. We won the election. We are still the same people saying that we will get back our mandate. Children of God, have no fear. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. And we have spoken that we will collect this mandate the same way we spoke we'll win an election. We will get our mandate back, and there will be rejoicing in the land from the beginning of Nigeria to the end. Have no fear one more time. It is well with you. It is well with Nigeria. God bless you all. God bless Peter Obi for being the vehicle by which we can push this. I am obedient for life. And the obedient movement is a movement of concerned Nigerians that wants to see the betterment of Nigeria. I congratulate you for being in this movement. I love you all. Keep the faith. Stay strong. We will get back our mandate. Heaven has a weird sense of humor, and I believe that heaven wants to use APC to clean up APC shit, and then we will come in and spray perfume over everywhere and have a great time. I'm sorry if the analogy came with a stink, but with everything called Agbado, it's always a stench of poo around the corner. I love you all. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Ensis. Thank you very much. That was. I mean, that was one hell of a submission. I was just as when you started, I was just hoping that I wish I feel just go call Justice Samani. I know saying if there now, say come and listen. And I hope they pay attention to that because, like you said, if the politicians are going after you, the people can protect you. When people go after you, politicians don't have anything to protect you. And I hope they listen to that. Thank you very much, NCs. Nello, hope you've Googled how to go after NCs. Go and check on Google.
1 minute as you talk say I go after N6. I say, guy, why? Why? Hmm? Which kind thing be this now? Wetin I wan talk again now? Hmm?
Now set up, then set you up. Sorry.
N6, thank you so much. Always a privilege, to listen to you. Thank you. All right. Hi Saddam. Hi Otumba. Hi well meaning Jimmy and everyone. How are you all doing? Yeah, I wanted to, quickly talk on this men of God or God of men matter. You know, yeah, I just clock say all these people, their kids don't even live in the country. They don't ship all their children out. Even that one with his accent and his chest, his wife and children are not in the country. Even like the any one of them wey dey do well, their children. There's one I was watching, the other day. All our siblings are all in Canada, America, everywhere. They are not in Nigeria because they know that nothing is working in that country. Not education, not health, and they are looking at the children that's like their grandchildren. They just know that the way things are going, there's no future for those kids. You can even have money in Nigeria, but your life is not secured. You fit just dey go now get one kind accident before you see hospital that will take you. It's in fact you have the money yapa, but no good medical care. Then when we talk about the education system, you can be paying all that millions for a school, and still the quality of education that you're going to be getting there is still going to be below par, because at the end of the day, who are the people that are going to be teaching in these schools? They are still the same graduates that came out from the underfunded federal schools that we have, federal and state schools. They are still the ones that will come and teach your kids. So, or should we talk about power? The fact that, in fact, insecurity, so many things. So they just take their kids out. But you see all of them, they just keep quiet in the face of everything that is happening. They keep quiet because, they don't want anything that's going to affect their source of livelihood. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what they don't turn this Christianity to, is business. And that's why, when people say you must know God for yourself, you just have to. And you must learn to be discerning. Not be everything where your pastor talk, you go just carry am hook, line, and sinker. Anyways, let me quickly talk about this. There are 140. Another thing is this whole propaganda about, Tinubu is working. And it's the media that is carrying this nonsense. Listening to Abati this morning, he was saying something about momentum, Tinubu's momentum, and I'm like, what freaking momentum, for Christ's sake? What has this man done exactly? Apart from he removed subsidy without not putting anything to cushion, no plans whatsoever. Even as we speak now, there's been no plans whatsoever rolled out on how to, protect the poor, the 133 million Nigerians that are living in abject poverty. No plans whatsoever to cushion, them from the effect of subsidy. Is it the student loan that everything about it is shady? What exactly has this man, or is it the fact that he's gone after Emefiele because Emefiele came, tried to scuttle his ambition? Or is it the EFCC guy that they removed because this guy is coming after a lot of his cronies? what exactly is this momentum that we just keep here? I really like the answer that Dele Farutimi gave him. That they all come with this their smoke screen, whatever. But at the end of the day, when you really scrutinize it, it's all noise and it's all empty noise. So at the end of the day, I one thing well meaning always says, let me say, the solution to Nigeria is in the courts, and that is just the bottom line. The solution to everything that we have in this country is that we need enterprising people to take the realm of affairs in this country. If we don't have people that will get Nigerians to become productive again, if we don't have people that will move our country from this would I say lazy, Nigeria does not we're not productive, we don't do anything, our industries are dead, and now this man is about to even education that people are even managing to get small small, this man is about to kill it entirely. I tell those of us that grew up in Lagos, we know how education before in Lagos, public schools were good, like really good. But when this man came, by the time he's done, go on, can you send your child to public schools now in Lagos? You cannot. This he would literally, and he has already started. In fact, God forbid that this man would have 4 years. Okay, 1 minute, I see you. I'm gonna round up. See, Nigerians, if you know what's good for you, I mean, I know N6, you keep saying that, we should not. I think that, people should keep talking about the judiciary, keep, making those buzz around it, whether, they are skeptical or whatever. Just keep talking about it. Keep, keeping your eye on the judiciary, because it's very important that we keep these conversations going. All right, I yield my mic here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nello. Yep, I always say that the beginning to the end of Nigerians' problem lies with Peter Obi. I don't know. I wish I can say the way they used to introduce Merlin that time. The way they did introduce me, because people don't understand. I mean, I know people reach out to me sometimes, like, of course, with the old boss by those state governor, like, oh, well, Mini, what do you think about this Edo State? I'm like, sorry, I'm from Edo State, but I don't know if I'm interested in Edo State election till after this petition, this whole process is finished, because any any other thing you do for me, any other thing you do now. In fact, I don't even watch all this arise, and maybe that's why I don't used to see some of all these things. In fact, now people here now they hear deep, but I don't see my head there. Now that judiciary, my head there. Now for me, I hear say people say deep must talk something. Somebody did that thing. I know they see that because that's where everything is going to end. If that's what we decide whether Nigeria will remain a country or not. So if the judiciary doesn't do right there, Opari, Otilo, Nigeria, there was a country in the in the words of Omar, over the last person that lived turned off the lights. Anyway, let's just go ahead. We'll be rounding up very soon. Um, Let me just take. Okay, I think we just have one speaker. Dinobo, if you want to speak, please raise up your hand. But let's take Dr. E. Dr. E, please go ahead. Dr. E, are you there? Okay, Dr. E, if you are not there, Dinobo, are you there? Dinobo, okay.
We
I
like
don't.
said no day. Meanwhile, waiting our president select go Paris go God Nigeria. I'm so
No.
embarrassed.
So, my problem with that is that my problem with that is, I mean, I don't have problem with your team people, but don't go. I mean, just send the person, let the person go. Don't go there and go and sit down. As in, just I don't understand.
The
Anyway, guys,
man just go. He went to attend. They said that is it banquet and both a column. Now he go attend tomorrow.
Tinubu went for medical treatment. I
The
mean,
main event. He don't send people go.
Tinubu went for medical treatment. That's just the fact. I mean, all those other ones that they're just doing is whatever. Anyway, guys, I mean, I think it has been a long day. Twitter wanted to use us to to play. I mean, that was a very funny. I think it was a very funny experience. Like the way the whole thing happened, I was like, what's going on? I mean, at some point, I think I'd reached out to Saddam when we had like just one person to speak. And I'm like, okay, Saddam, after this next person. And I was like, we were engaged those on the comment section on YouTube, then we'll probably close early, but the glitch was solved. So we came back, and of course, I mean, time is fast spent. This is about 1 a.m. Nigerian time. We've been here since like 7 p.m. So please, if maybe we couldn't get a request, it's probably because we couldn't see it, or of course, time have also gone. I told them on 1 million